Okay. So we're doing Likutei Moharan, Torah, Gimel. Okay. This is a very important lesson. For anyone who's here and on their phone, they should come off and sit down and listen to the lesson. Amar Rabbi Bar Chana, the Gemara says, what? I saw this frog. You learned Gemara today, right? I saw this frog. What happened to this frog? It was as big as the city of Agronia. You ever see a frog like that? No. That's crazy, no? That was that big? Okay, how big was it? The city was 60 houses wide.
How big is a house?
Okay, that's another question. No, but he's saying if the house is like one of those like mini toy houses, so then it could just be a normal sized frog. But it sounds like it's a city. It's a big frog. However, whatever it is, 60. Okay. Ata tanina bala, a snake came, swallowed that frog whole. Ata pushkansa, came along a raven. That's not what they sound like. Okay. Uvala tanina. And the raven swallowed the snake. You read a Gemara like this in your life? Okay. V'salik yati bilana. What happened to the raven? He flew up and he sat down on a tree. Tachazi, come and see. Kama nafish chele dilana. How strong that tree is. That's it, guys. Have a good night. It was worth it, no? It was kedai to come. What happens when you listen to music from a singer who is not connected to the truth? You guys have never listened to such music, right? What did you say? What type of influence? No, forget about all the whatever you just like straight. What do you think? What type? Why is it conceal God?
They make you they take out of the moment.
Okay.
Or somewhere else.
Okay. It's the yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Blemishes your Emunah. Why? Kasha lo levadat bareh. A person who he listens to music that's from a person he doesn't have devekut, he doesn't have deep attachment to godliness, to divinity. It says, Kasha lo avodat bareh. It's going to be hard for you to be close to Hashem. It's going to be hard for you to serve Hashem. Ushashomea minagen kasher v'agun. But when you listen to someone who's kasher, he's straight, not just in sexuality, but also in spirituality. That, not that he's like, he's straight. It means he's, you know what we're called? We're called Yisrael. Where does that come from? Yashar kel. Straight to Hashem. To be straight doesn't just mean I'm not moving to the right or left. It means I have a direct path towards godliness. That's within every Jew's capability to experience Yashar kel, a straight, narrow bridge right up to godliness. That's in your potential. Yisrael is a very high level. But when you listen to someone who's reached such a level, azai tovlo, the opposite. It's not even that it's bad for you. It's not even that it's going to be hard for you not to connect to Hashem. It's not neutral. When you listen to music from that person, you're going to get so much closer to Hashem than if you didn't listen to music like that. You hear? Make sense? So it's a tool. The way we usually think about music is that it makes me feel good. Right? I listen to my jam, I listen to my beat, I listen to my, yeah? And you feel good, temporarily. Because everybody listens to music. What do you mean? It's just normal to listen to music. You don't know how deep music is. Music comes from the highest spiritual places. I haven't done this tour with you guys. Benny's mind is about to explode. Are you ready? Yeah? And all of you, if you're thinking about what I'm about to say, It's in the Kutumar, it's much later on, because what Shem will do together. It is insane. Are you ready? We know that there is a chokhmah, that there is a hidden aspect of godliness which is within everything, within everyone. You have a hidden spark of godliness that's called your nefesh elokit, that's called your godly soul. You do, I do, he does. Okay? Everyone here does, and not just everyone here. The chairs do. The tables do. The air does. My speech does. Everything has chokhmah. Where do we get this from? We say it every morning. You made everything bechokhmah. It's an open pasuk from Tehillim. You make everything bechokhmah. Meaning, not just that you had wisdom when you made it, but bechokhmah, chokhmah is in it. The godliness is concealed within everything. It's the job of a Jew, Rabbi Nachman says, to find that hidden godliness, to attach himself to it, and use it to get closer to Hashem, because that's the only reason he created it. You hear? Okay, now, you ready for the mind blower? Because we've talked about that a lot. Is there anything higher than Chokhmah? Bina's below. Keter. Keter is the highest spiritual reality that we could potentially experience ever. Keter. Listen to what Rabbi Nachman says. It says later on in Likutei Moharan, above everything, there is stars. Right? There's mazalot. Above the mazalot, you have spiritual realities, spiritual universes, which are influencing those mazalot, those stars, which are influencing the things that are happening down here. Above that, you have chokhmah, deep God consciousness, which is driving each and everything. And it's affecting and it's revealing itself down here. That's the reason why you need to look for it, because by connecting to that, you're connecting to the source of everything that's happening. Then you can use it to get close to Hashem. Listen to what Rabbi Nachman says later on in the Likutei Moharan. But above every chokhmah, there's also something. There's something above the chokhmah which is driving everything. It's song. There is a song which is guiding every chokhmah, which is guiding every spiritual universe, which is guiding every mazalot, which is guiding everything that happens down here. You hear what he's saying? What is creating everything in reality? Music.
Influencing all reality.
At the highest level, above chokhmah.
But we have bad music and we have good music.
That's right. So listen.
The angels, they say Shira, that's their avoidance.
Yeah.
Shira in front of Hashem.
Song.
So the Malach, they follow.
By the way, Yashar Kel, we said straight to Hashem, right? It's not just that. Switch the word Yashar, it's Shir. Shir Kel. The song of God. The Jewish people are called the song of Hashem, because everything comes as a result of whatever we do. When we're close to Hashem, the song is beautiful, and the world looks beautiful. When we're not, the song is whack, and the world looks like, yeah.
And lots of demons.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah. But that's not just collectively, that's personally in your own life. You have your own song. We all have our own song. Why is Mashiach, David, Melech Yisrael, Chai V'Kayam? Because he Yodei Nigun, because he knows song.
He knows the source.
He knows the source of reality. He knows the source of reality. He knows music. That's why he's the Mashiach, because he knows music.
Moshe knew Keter, he knew.
Moshe knew Chokhmah. Yeah, Moshe knew Chokhmah, David knows Keter.
So the Tzaddik knows Chochmah.
So he's above Moshe.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There's no soul in history that's rooted as high as David's.
I thought,
But Moshe Rabbeinu spoke face to face.
I know that. That's the Pel. That's Chokhmah. To see face to face is Chokhmah.
But he was the most humblest person.
I understand that. I understand. It doesn't mean he didn't have the most real experience of Hashem. He did. But the soul of David is the only soul in history for all time that comes from this place called Keter. That's why it falls down to stone, to all the dirtiest places. Yeah. That's why it comes from prostitution. That's why it comes from affairs. That's why it comes from wasted seed. That's why it comes from incest. David's soul came down through all of those places. Moshe's soul didn't come down like that. So it's pure, 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 pure. But if you are going to save the whole world, you have to go down to the darkest place. Which soul goes down to the darkest place? The Baal Shem Tov says the highest soul. Why? Because if you throw a ball off a building, yeah, let's say a little building, it's going to drop, gravity, right? It's going to hit the floor. It's going to bounce back up. But if you have a bigger building than that, and you drop a ball from that building, which one's going to fall down further?
The higher first.
Which one's going to fall down further? You have a building this high and a building that high. I throw the ball off both buildings. Which one is going to cover more ground and fall lower? Second one. What if you go higher? Third one. Let's say you go to the highest building that ever was. One you never even seen so high because you can't even see the top. And you throw a ball off there. How low is that going to fall? The lowest place that there ever was. Stone. David. Mashiach. The Midrash says, where did Hashem find David? In stone. So what's the implication of that? Sodom is the worst place there ever was. It's the most disgusting. I'm not just talking about sexuality, whatever. I'm saying it was the worst place that ever was. In terms of people being humans, taking care of each other, being kind, it was the worst place there ever was.
That way Rambam says that the person who's in the deepest depths of Gehenna, even I can take him out from there.
Yeah.
In what?
You're connecting it to what we talked about today.
What?
It's a good chap. I like that chap. Okay, so listen. I'll tell you later, Avram. No.
Because he's the only one who made such a kavua. No one else you hear say that.
Okay, Yofi. So now, good. So now David's soul is rooted in Keter, the highest. Where does song come from?
Higher than Keter.
No, it comes from Keter. That's the whole point. His soul is rooted in Keter. What are the three functions of Keter? You have Ratzon, you have will. You have Tanug, ecstasy. Oneg, yeah. And you have Emunah. All of those three things are called shir, song. Yeah, so the lowest of Keter is called Ratzon, the will. It means his whole essence is bound up in his Ratzon. When he first comes to this world, he has nothing in between himself and any level of godliness. This is very deep Kabbalah, what I'm telling you right now, by the way. Yeah, Malchut, David. When he comes down to this world, he comes with nothing that's godly. Nothing. Not Yesod, not Netzach, not Hod, not Tiferet, not Gevur, not Chesed. The only thing he comes down with is the Keter. So the only thing that gets him through all of the darkness is his Ratzon.
So that's the beginning.
Yeah. What's higher than his Ratzon? That's his Ratzon. What's higher than his Ratzon? His Tanug. His ability to experience and desire ecstasy.
What does that mean?
It means,
Yeah, but what does that mean?
you know what you feel like. Okay, practically, what does that mean? Have you ever, what is the most intense joy you've ever felt? Think about it right now. Everybody close their eyes. Real joy. Or even from drugs. Even from drugs.
serious.
We're davening. I'm saying everyone has their own experience of ecstasy. Some people have tried the drug. Some people have experienced it from being in Uman. Some people have experienced it from learning Likutei Moharan. Some people have experienced ecstasy from hanging out with their friends and just talking like best friends. So everyone has their different experience of what was ecstasy for you.
I personally tried.
Yeah. Okay. Put the camera on. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But why do they associate that drug with this thing?
So I'm trying to explain to you. Again, listen.
It enhances you.
Listen. Listen. The reason why people in our generation are all experimenting with drugs is not just because the parents are off. It's not just because we didn't get good educations. It's a very deep yearning for spiritual ecstasy. And because they don't know where to get it or that it's even available, they are taking physical ecstasy.
It comes nowhere close to the.
And it's not even close because
It's not limited.
because physical ecstasy, you're going to feel a certain thing for a little and you're going to feel terrible for a long time after that. Yeah. You drop and you crash. And the higher the ecstasy with any drug, the worse is the crash. Yeah? Sometimes you don't even come out of the crash. Okay? But when you have ta'anug, like the mitzvah on Shabbat, and that Rabbi Nachman says you can have that all week, if you're connected to reality, the deepest truth, you feel like that normally. And it's not limited.
Everybody wants that.
Who is going to be able to teach us that? Only David. Only Mashiach.
After Shabbat, you feel like the soul is feeling.
Yes, we're going to talk about Shabbat in a second. That's also the reason why you're supposed to sing on Shabbat.
I need that, Rabbi. That spiritual ecstasy.
Yeah. Rabbi Nachman used to get very angry, and he never got angry. He used to get very angry when his Hasidim didn't sing on Shabbat. This is time for song. You want to learn, you want to pray, you want to daven, you want whatever, but on Shabbat we sing. Because Shabbat is the concept of that ecstasy, that keter, that Shabbat is David, peace. Okay?
Is it Malchut or is it Keter?
It's the same. Because what is in the beginning is revealed at the end. That's the whole,
But the Yisod is
again,
That's why we're saying
again,
Emunah, right?
yeah, starts in the beginning, it's the highest thing, and Emunah is Malchut also. There's a pasuk, it says that what was will be.
So that's what birth is?
It comes full circle. What is in the beginning and potential only reveals itself at the end.
And you could see that.
There you go. Sof Maaseh, say it again. But Machshavat Tila, what was first in thought is revealed in the end. What's first in thought? It's Mashiach. But when is that revealed? Only right now. In the deepest darkness in Western civilization.
That's why Yaakov and Esau.
No, I'm saying, the Midrash says very clearly, where is David going to be found when he's revealed at the end? In Edom. It's a Midrash. Edom, Rome. And what is Rome? According to all of Chazal, there is no Western civilization. Where's the epitome of Western civilization? United States of America. Where's the epitome of what? New York.
California.
And it's funny because they tell you that America is a city that never sleeps,
That's right, but it's always sleeping.
but it's always.
Yeah. That's the
That's
biggest.
why there's so much lights there. You ever noticed that?
So we're going to speak about that in a second, actually. What's higher than Ta'anug? Emunah. Emunah. At the highest level, it's even, can you imagine? Whatever is the pleasure of spiritual ecstasy that you feel higher than you do on physical ecstasy, that if you were able to tap into Emunah, Shlema Pashuta, Emunah Pashuta, that level of simple Emunah is a higher level of revelation of godliness than even spiritual ecstasy. Okay? David is going to come and reveal all of those things in the end.
Spiritual ecstasy, it's something that has to do like, it's slow, as opposed to having Emunah, you're straight in the source. It's like a tzilus, it's like you with the Shem himself.
Yes.
Spiritual ecstasy is like you're enjoying like the light, the warmth. Supposedly you're enjoying something, a byproduct of whatever, even though it's very, very close. But the Emunah, right, the Amen, you're with Hashem, it's totally revealed. It's being with them like as oneness.
Yes. So it's very, very high. Okay. Literally. Okay. So now we're learning a very deep sort of this lesson. This lesson is very, very important. Song. When you listen to a person sing, you're listening to the deepest parts of his soul. He may not even know that. You may not even know that. He is literally revealing what is the deepest of his own soul. Now, what happens now if that person never worked on himself? What happens if that person doesn't even know Shem exists? What happens if he does, but he's singing really because he wants to become famous or because he wants money?
So he could be singing anything.
Anything. He could literally be singing about Jewish things. He could be a Jewish singer. Don't name names. We're not going to do that. Don't name names. He could be a Jewish singer singing about Jewish things, and you're going to get that part of him. You're going to get that, and that influence is not a little influence. It's a huge influence.
Because now that becomes your consciousness.
Yes, we're going to learn in a moment that will become your own consciousness. It becomes your Emunah. It's not going to make sense right now. We're going to have to develop the lesson. So now this is what he's saying. What's the reason? Kine ko nagina, because the voice of song, nimshechet min hatzaparim, it's drawn from the birds. Kedeita b'midrash, like it's brought in the midrash. Mipnei mamatzora. What happens to a person that he gets metzora? You should know in the Torah, this is very important. Listen to what I'm about to say. There's many diseases, right? There's coronavirus. There is chas v'shalom. What?
The new swine flu.
There's a new swine flu. There's an old swine flu, I guess, if there's a new one. AIDS, chas v'shalom, cancer, HIV, Parkinson's, terrible, terrible, unspeakable diseases. But we know everything is rooted in the Torah. There's nothing in reality that doesn't have its source in the Torah. How many diseases does the Torah speak about? Only one. Tzarat. Leprosy. A skin disease. Interesting, no? What does that mean? It means that every disease in the physical world is rooted in tzarat. Okay, so 1 second. Everybody hear what I'm saying? So don't just think about tzarat like a skin disease. Whenever you hear sickness, somebody's sick, it's from tzarat.
You need from Lashon Hara.
Oh. Mibnei mamatzora. What does a person do to get rid of tzarat? Sorry, no, it's good. Tarato teluya bishtei tziparim chayotorot. Why is it that for a metzora, the only tikkun for him, the only way for him to get rid of it, it comes from 2 live pure birds?
Oh, he has to actually bring 2 bird offerings?
And they have to be live and pure. What? No, by the way. Yeah, okay, wait, it's just wait, it's all there. We're going to get there in a second. What does it mean simply? It means that the bird itself is a pure bird. It has no blemish. It's a kosher animal. What does it mean that it's alive? It's alive right now. It's physically alive. But we're going to learn this is a very, very deep thing. That these live, pure birds are the only way to get rid of a skin disease. What's the connection? There's no connection. Seemingly. And now we're learning that this skin disease is the cause of all disease. Not just physical disease, spiritual disease. All illness comes from tzara.
Does that mean also obesity and all these things also come from tzara?
If it makes you sick, everything comes from tzara. There's only one disease in the Torah. It's unbelievable. You listen to what I'm saying? So the only tikkun, the only way to get rid of it is 2 live pure birds. Okay, what does that mean? Yavo kalanya v'chaper al kalanya. It says in Vayikra Rabbah, in the Midrash. What's the reason for this? Let the chatterer come and atone for the chatterer. You understand? What's the only bird that chatters? What's the only animal that chatters? A bird. What's the cause of Ta'ara? Lashon Hara.
It's interesting because Period Shira says that the birds sing to Hashem.
Yeah.
That's why they're chirping.
You can hear it. Go into the...
That's why they're chirping.
Okay, so listen.
Singing to Hashem.
That's right, they're singing. They're chirping.
They're praising.
Yeah, they're all singing. Every animal is singing to Hashem. They're always singing to Hashem.
That's what they do from the moment they wake up.
Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Let the chatter come in atone for the chatter. This is what the Midrash says. What does that mean? Simply, pashtut. The birds are chattering. What's the cause of the skin disease, which is the cause of all disease? Chattering. What type of chattering? Lashon hara. You're speaking bad. You said bad. You speak bad. Bad words are coming out of your mouth. You should know a very deep yesod. This is not just Kabbalah. This is just simple. A person who wants to purify something and needs to be purified in the way that it became impure. There's no way for something to become kosher except through the way that it became not kosher. Yes, I'm about to. Where do we learn this from? That when the Jewish people left Egypt and they had to kosher those pots, so the Torah explicitly says, put it through fire, because the only way they can become kosher is the same way they became not kosher. And this is the way that it goes with kashrut. When a thing becomes not kosher through fire, it needs to be kosher through fire. When a thing's become not kosher through something else, it has to become kosher through something else. Cooking, everything. Everything's like that. That's just basic. Now what about us? We're souls. How do we achieve closeness to Hashem? We need to get rid of whatever is separating us. How do we do that? Through the means that it separated us, but in a good way. And we're learning that the thing that separates every one of us at its source has to be Lashon Hara. It has to be. There's no other way. And the only thing that fixes negative speech is positive speech. And the highest form of positive speech, song. The birds. What kind of birds? You can't get any birds. Now listen to how amazing this is. These birds have to be pure. Physically, they have to be pure birds. What does that mean for us? It means that the singers that we listen to, they can completely rectify Lashon Hara for you. They can take away leprosy for you. They can take away your spiritual and physical illness. But those birds have to be pure birds. Otherwise, you can't bring it for a korban.
Why two?
Oh, good. Why two birds?
This is a bugged out Torah.
Every Torah is a bugged out Torah. We're going to see in a second. The answer question is coming right now. Okay? It's literally the next part. So you're machaven to Rabbi Nachman ben Fega, the Tzaddik Yisod Olam. Do you know what that means, machaven? It means that based on your understanding and your deep concentration of what's going on right now, you are able to actually understand where he's going next with the Torah. Yes.
Providence.
Yes. Which means it's a big thing. This is with anything. Also, you're in the Shulchan Aruch, you understand, you machaven to the next question in halacha, same thing. And if you do that with Rabbi Nachman, it's not normal. It's not normal. Avraham did, I think, last week. Okay. So what does he say? Ki nilka mechama, because he was struck. Kolo, because of his voice. Shideber lashon hara, that he spoke lashon hara. So now that's the only way to fix it. Nimsa, consequently, we see then, mishu kasher, a person is kasher, and he's singing, nimshechet anagina shalom minat shtei atziparim chayot orot. He is drawing his song from two live pure birds. So it's like you bring the korban for Lashon Hara by listening to music from people who are mamish connected to divinity, to Elokut, to godliness. V'chatu bezohar, and it's brought in the Zohar, shehashte tziparim, two birds. Yonkim me'ata min v'im yankin. They nurse from the same place that the prophets nurse. Okay, so 1 second.
What's this korban called? Korban Toda?
Yeah, but what's the name of it?
Ola?
I have to look.
No.
I have to find.
Is it
I think it's Khatat.
Shem.
Don't look it up now. Don't look it up there. Look it up there. Please. Please. What? Yeah. Okay. So we're seeing here that if you get it, two birds. Two. Why two? Okay, so the answer is like this. Within the Sfirot, now this is going to confuse you for a second, but try to understand, because this is very deep, what we're talking about right now. The Zohar says, who are these two live birds? They're called Netzach and Hod. Within your physical body, where are they located, your Netzach and Hod? Your kidneys. And when the Torah speaks about your kidneys, what is it really speaking about? Your testicles.
That's what they look like.
So true.
Yes.
They do look alike.
Yes.
In the diagrams.
Oh, in the diagrams. That was a good one. That was good. They look so much in the diagrams. Right, that's true. In diagrams, they look exactly like, you know why? Because Netzach and Hod. 1 second. They're naturally pure. Usually, they're naturally pure. If they haven't been tainted, not only are they pure, that's where God consciousness comes from. It's a bug. That's where God consciousness comes from. This is why all God consciousness comes from the Tzaddik Yesod Olam, from the Master of the Brit. Why? Because those are pure. Completely pure. Completely pure, and therefore he draws the greatest amount of God consciousness into the world. You with me? Everybody, this makes sense? Okay. Good. So the Zohar says that makes sense to us. We have an issue though, because we're going to say in a moment that Emunah it's built from mochin. What's mochin? Simply, in the Sfirot, it's chokhmah and bina. Okay? We're going to learn in a moment, this whole lesson is about Emunah, how to develop your Emunah. Okay? And the key is holy song. Now, this is going to say, though, in a moment, that what builds Emunah is chokhmah and bina. It's consciousness. But that's not song, because song, we just said, comes from Netzach and Hod. Everybody with me? If you're not with me, this isn't going to make sense. Tell me if you're not with me. It's okay.
So song doesn't come from Cant.
So it does. That's the whole point. That's the whole confusion. The Zohar says it comes from Netzach and Hod.
Okay.
But Rabbi Nachman says it comes from Cant.
No. 1 second. Rabbi Nachman is going to say in a moment that what builds the Malchut, what builds Emunah, is Chokhmah and Bina. Okay? So, but which one is it? Does it get Chokhmah and Bina, or it's Netzach and Hod?
Both.
Is it like Koach and Pal?
It seems like it's
Isn't like in potential and then in activeness?
Oh. So you ready for a deep thing? The full revelation of Chokhmah in the physical world, his name is Moshe. Moshe is Netzach. Meaning to experience Chokhmah comes from Netzach in actuality, which is Moshe. To experience Bina, understanding, this deep feminine consciousness, which brings you to Simcha, comes from Aaron. Okay? Moshe and Aaron are brothers. Why are they the redeemers of the Jews from Mitzrayim? Because they were all Pagama Brit. The Jewish people. The Arizal says, what was the whole Mitzrayim? It was to rectify the Brit. Why did Moshe and Aaron, why were they the ones who saved them?
Oh, so they weren't part of...
Because they were pure because they were pure testicles. Netzach and Hod. I'm sure nobody's ever said this on camera before. You have to be mature to understand these things, okay? You guys are mature, so I'm just telling you. They were the purest kidneys. What does it say? Listen to how deep this is. What does the Torah say about Avraham Avinu? How did Avraham Avinu find Hashem? He didn't have a teacher. Listen how amazing this is. Where did you find out about Hashem from? You heard from somebody, no? Did you hear from anybody? Someone told you. Where did I hear about Hashem from? I picked up a look at the mirror one time. I'm like, oh my gosh. Hashem. 1 second. Yeah, it's a midrash, yeah. So where did Avraham learn about Hashem from? Even if you go into the world, okay, you go into nature, like this is beautiful, but how are you going to chop Hashem from it? You understand, right? It doesn't make any sense. He got it from his kidneys, the midrash says. He got it from his pure, why? Because he was the master of the Brit. Because he was the first person in history to become a complete master of his physicality. And because of that, automatically, he perceives God. Because as soon as a person masters his physicality, his desires, he automatically experiences deep revelations of godliness.
So why is Yosef one praised for being?
Oh, because Avram was the first, but he wasn't the archetype. The archetype is like the essential. His test wasn't in that area. But any tzaddik has to be a master of the Brit. You can't be a tzaddik and not be a master of the Brit. That's what a tzaddik is called. But who is the tzaddik? Yosef. Why? Because Yosef wanted it.
But
they all wanted, but I'm talking about it's not like Yosef wanted it. 1 second. The greatest souls are tested in the area that they are greatest in. Rabbi Nachman says if a person deals with anger, he gets angry a lot. He just, like for instance, I was with somebody recently, I'm not going to say what it is, he told me, he was very honest with me, very nice guy, he's learning all these classes. He told me, I have really big issues with anger. I'm working on the Hiboded, I'm doing this, I'm feeling peace from it, I'm feeling much closer to Hashem, a lot of things are happening, but I still, in my relationships, I get angry. Like, is that ever going to stop? Listen to what Rabbi Nachman says. A person who deals with anger can attain the highest degree of peace. Because if he gets angry, it means that his highest soul function is peace. He just hasn't experienced it yet, and that's why he's tested in anger. A person he doesn't have anger, it's because he doesn't have a koach for real peace. Does that make sense to everyone?
So to the degree that you have a difficulty, to that degree you could bounce down.
The other way, exactly. And this is so important. If you don't know that, you're never going to bounce back.
So you're saying if the person doesn't get angry as often, he doesn't have the power to make peace?
Yeah. Within himself, within others. Like in the deepest way possible. Everyone can do it to some level. Who can do it to the greatest degree level? You want to see how clear this is?
Who has the greatest anger?
Who had the greatest anger in the Torah? Who did we just learn about last week?
No, Korah.
Who was given the Brit Shalom? Pinchas. Yeah.
But his anger wasn't to separate, it was to unify.
I understand that, but I'm just saying he had tremendous anger.
So he used it for the good.
He used it for the good. And because he used it for the good, the Zohar says very clearly, he is Eliyahu Navi. That he is going to be, who's going to announce the coming of Mashiach? Eliyahu. What is Mashiach? Peace for the world. Who is announcing it? Eliyahu. Who is that? Pinchas. What was Pinchas's whole thing? He had tremendous anger. But he, I understand, so that's what I'm saying. Because he used it for Hashem, it became revealed as the greatest level of peace. The anger is not the problem. Your problem is not a problem. It's a problem when you leave it there. If you deal with sadness, that's not the problem, because you know what's on the other side of that? Emunah. The highest level of Emunah. You deal with anger, that's not the problem. The problem is when you think that that's all you are. When you realize that you have within your soul the ability to do the complete opposite. Then you can understand how good Hashem is.
So this realization only comes from the purity of your breathing? Because it seems to me that if a person's not pure, which is mochi, you just said, right?
Yeah.
There's no way he can ever have God.
Or he's attached to the one who is.
But if he's still pagam, he can't
He's, okay.
fully reach what he's
Yes.
possessed.
Yes. But while he's working on it, like we learned before, while we're all working on it, because this is a very hard thing to do, to master your physicality. We're in a world that's all you see, all you hear, it's physical. To the extent that the consciousness of the whole world at this point is science. Listen to this. Listen to what I'm telling you. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. If you look up science, I haven't done this in a long time, but look up science on Wikipedia or wherever. What is the study of science? It studies the five senses. Our goal in science is to find out to the greatest degree possible whatever we can know that our five senses can experience. So what does that mean?
Limited.
1 second. Yes, limited. But what does that mean? They're saying something. It's like, for instance, in the Torah, when something says something, it's also excluding something else. If it's including something, it's excluding something. It's excluding anything that's not physical. What are the five senses? Physical. Sight, hearing, smell, taste, feel. Five senses, physical. So 1 second. Science is saying, they literally say in their mission statement, we can only and are only trying to find out what we can know with the five senses. So if you go to a scientist and he's telling you God doesn't exist, there is no such thing, it doesn't make any sense, he's only researching what the five senses can experience. That's all science does. That's all they claim to do. And you're having debates between scientists and rabbis. How are they ever going to find common ground if their whole chap is the five senses of physicality? That's all they claim to know. The Torah says science is the lowest level of reality. Physicality is the lowest level of reality. You have trillions of levels of reality above physicality. The lowest one. It's the lowest.
Yeah, we're all busy trying to be on the lowest low.
For
We're all busy with it.
the Ramban knew about the Big Bang 1,000 years ago. He never looked at anything besides in his book. How do you know that there's a seed that explodes and it creates all of it? Look at the Ramban in the beginning of the Torah, 1,000 years ago. You read the beginning as Perush and the beginning of Bereshit. You would not know the difference between that and the highest level science book about what the Big Bang is. 1,000 years ago. There's a seed, it explodes, it becomes all the matter. He says all of that. All he did was learn. Torah. That's it. How do you know that? Because everything is there. The Vilna Gaon has theorems in mathematics that they still use today. The world uses. He learned it in the bathroom. Because it's the only place you're not allowed to learn Torah. So what is he going to do? I want to learn something. So he learned mathematics in the bathroom. How much time is he spending in the bathroom? Probably nothing. He didn't eat, he didn't drink, he didn't do anything. So how much is he spending in the bathroom? How did he know that? They still use it. Where are you coming up with mathematical theories that they're going to use 1,000 years later? Everything's in the Torah. When you're pure, you're connected to your highest level of consciousness, and you experience all of reality, you don't need to be taught it. Avraham Avinu was the first master of the Brit. Because he was pure sexually, he found God. What did he do to everyone he saw?
Try a macaw.
How did he do that?
By just macawing himself.
Okay.
You have to find yourself before you find anybody else.
You ever hear about Nachman?
What did it say about Yosef at Tzaddik? We know he's the concept, he's the archetype. There's no tzaddik like Yosef at Tzaddik. What did he do with the Egyptians?
Gave him all Brit.
Gave him circumcision.
He circumcised every single one of them. He was obsessed with circumcising people.
Yaakov and Shem.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Yeah, his whole goal was to circumcise everyone. Why?
Purify them.
Why?
So they can experience God consciousness.
That's it. He knew that there's not a human soul in reality that can experience divinity, God consciousness, which is so far above physicality, without the Brit. Paro said to the Egyptians, do whatever Yosef says. Because he chapped that he understood things that nobody understood. He didn't know why, he's a Jew, I don't know what this is. He understands things. Where did he understand all of it from? Just because he was the master of the Brit. Because he was the master of the Brit, he was able to interpret dreams. Because once you become a master of this area, your mind unlocks.
Transcends nature.
And you're able to tap into your mind, which is above your brain.
It's physical too.
Yeah.
Because the seed
I know.
comes from the brain.
Yes.
So that's the fuel. That's like yes and right.
So a person who wastes.
So one second, before the questions. Before the questions. Okay? So now, so listen to Par whatever he says. Why? Because he's the whole reason that we saved up food. The whole world is coming to us now to get food. Mitzrayim was like America back then. Okay? And in the time of the famine, they were the center of reality. If you go to any country, when I was in Spain, and I was in Morocco, and I traveled to all of these countries, yeah, the whole world revolves around the President of the United States of America.
That's crazy.
Everything that happens in the world is dependent on what the President of America decides right now. You don't agree?
No, in Dubai it's not like that.
I'm telling you everywhere.
Okay, I believe it.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what. Everywhere is dependent. They all have it. They're watching the news about America. Why? Why is everyone? Because everything falls from what is the Mitzrayim of today. Then it was Mitzrayim. Then it became Bavel. Then it became Greece. Then it became Rome. There always has to be one central reality where all physical reality stems from.
They all fell.
Yeah. They're all fallen Malchut. They're all fallen governments. And everything comes from there. So now, Paro was only saved, the Mitzrayim were only saved, and their economy boomed, and everything was working, and they had money, and they had food, when they had a magefa, when they had a plague, when they had a corona, when they had a virus, and everyone had to come to them for the cure. So what did he say? I don't even know what Yosef is, just listen to whatever he tells you to do. What did Yosef say to do? I want to circumcise every single one of you. You want to know how amazing this is? If you want to say, okay, it's just in the Torah. Where's the proof for this? Can I tell you what they found? They found stones in the past few years from Mitzrayim, from Egypt, with a picture of what looks like a viceroy, someone who's second in command, circumcising Egyptians. A Jewish man circumcising Egyptians. They found it in like, I forget what they call it, stones, tombs and stones, because they used to draw everything out on hieroglyphics. They found hieroglyphics with a Jewish person circumcising Egyptians. Unbelievable. Okay? Oh, they saw the payot. What do you mean? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So now, this is what we're saying. You ready? The Zohar says that the two birds are Netzach and Hod. But we're saying that Emunah comes from Chochmah and Bina. Which one is it? So this is the answer. You ready? This is very difficult, so try to stay with me. I'm going to make it as simple as I possibly can. Every part of you has its own consciousness. Wait. Every part of you has its own mind. Your feet have a mind. Your legs have a mind. Your stomach has a mind. Your arms have a mind. Your chest has a mind. Your mouth has a mind. That's called its consciousness. It thinks with its mind. Okay, so 1 second. In the language of the Torah, of Chassidut, what is Keneged Emunah? What is that in the body? The whole body. The feet. The feet. The feet. The feet is your Emunah. It's called Emunah. That's why our generation is called Ikveta de Mashiach, the feet of Mashiach. Emunah is the highest and it's the lowest. Because what's in the end, in the beginning of potential, reveals itself only in the end. That's our generation. Yes, and if you're not standing on it, you're not standing. If you don't have Emunah, you ever notice that as soon as you don't feel that everything is from Shem, everything is from the best, everything is to bring me close to Him, what do you automatically experience? Despair, sadness, anger, confusion, laziness, every single thing that you don't want to experience, all as soon as what? You don't have Emunah for a moment. Why? Because now you're not standing. You're on the ground. You're not on your feet. You understand that?
Say that again. What did you just say?
Again. How does a person stand?
On his feet.
On his feet. What happens if he doesn't have feet? He can't stand. If he can't stand, what is he doing? He's on the floor. He's in Yeush.
Or maybe, he's in the bottomless pit.
He's in a bottomless pit.
His feet haven't touched the ground yet.
His feet aren't on the ground. So he's on.
Just like me.
Okay, so so now listen. So now what happens? Now what happens? What are feet? It's Emunah. What happens if you develop Emunah? By listening to holy song, a holy voice. Now you got feet. Your feet get stronger, now you can stand.
And I can carry more weight.
So now, why is it so important for us? Because our generation is Ikveta de Mashiach. We are the feet of Mashiach. The reason why we're all in despair and sadness and confusion is because we are Emunah.
There's also more music now.
I mean, that's our test.
Yeah.
That's what I had a dream.
Our potential is in Emunah in a way that's never been, and our test is in Emunah in a way that's never been.
So that's why we're lacking it.
Yes, that's why everyone is going to see therapists and psychiatrists and on meds and trying to find out how to be happy, because our koach, our strength, comes from the opposite of that, which is Emunah. How did I ever have the strength to go from the deepest depression and anxiety and atheism to Emunah? Because Rabbi Nachman taught me that wherever you're struggling, the opposite is your strength. If you struggle with Emunah, that means that your strength is in Emunah. If you struggle even more than that in Emunah, you can have even more Emunah. Who can have the greatest Emunah in the world? Only the biggest atheist that ever was.
That's so true. So what was Yosef's koach?
Yosef's koach was the Brit. The Brit.
That's right. Okay.
And that's why he was tested in it.
That's why there's more music now than ever.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to get rich from being music.
Yes, and that's why the Sitra Achra uses music to keep Jewish people from experiencing Emunah. You ever notice you can't stop hearing music even if you want to?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It became white noise.
Yeah, literally. You can't go anywhere without hearing music. Stores, music. You go in, even if you go into your car and by accident your radio turns on, which happens every time, music. Why? Because the chiyut, the life force of this generation is music. That's why we crave it. Because the feet get their consciousness, get their life force from Netzach and Hod, from music. That's why we need music. That's why everyone craves music. But because the music is not coming from people who are connected to the inner reality of life, everyone is stuck on physical reality. What happens when you're not connected to the inner reality and you're stuck on physical reality? Then you don't believe in Hashem. And if you don't believe in Hashem, you don't have Emunah. And if you don't have Emunah, what do you experience? You can't stand on your feet. And what do you feel? Crippled. I can't get out of bed. I feel depressed. I feel lack of energy. I feel sad. I feel confused. What?
What if you don't listen to music? Well, you don't listen to holy music either.
Oh, so good. This is the beginning of the lesson. He's saying, Adrabah, you might think to yourself, so maybe I just shouldn't listen to music. He says, no, don't do that. Listen to music. The holiest freaking music you can find. Because you can bring up your Emunah so much just through holy music. We're going to learn in a moment, or tomorrow or Thursday, I guess, that that music is not just song on the radio. That the essence of music in the exile is the oral Torah. The oral Torah is a song. David HaMelech, who knew song, got up at night and he learned Torah. What is nighttime? There's two types of Torah. There's written Torah, there's oral Torah. Written Torah is Keneged daytime. We're going to learn this. Oral Torah is Keneged nighttime. Where do we learn that from? Also later on in the lesson, Moshe Rabbeinu. He was on Har Sinai. He was for 40 days and 40 nights, he couldn't see outside. So how did he know whether it was day or night?
By what he was learning.
Whatever Hashem was teaching him. If Hashem was teaching him the written Torah, he knew it was daytime. If he was teaching him the oral Torah, he knew it was nighttime.
When did he pray? He didn't pray because he was in Shem.
1 second. 1 second.
Okay, he was already with that.
Okay.
He was a bad prayer. He was praying.
So like this. Very simply. Ready? By the way, did anybody feel time pass in this class? You felt time pass? I didn't feel the whole thing. It just went by in an hour. Did anybody else feel like it just flew by in an hour? Do you want to know why? Because you're listening to music right now. What you just heard tonight was music at the highest level.
Oral Torah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys feel? Do you feel close to Hashem right now? Does anybody here feel like, wow, Hashem, maybe Hashem exists? Maybe there's something deep in my life. Maybe there's something real in my life. Why? Because you just heard the song. You just heard the most beautiful song. Rabbi Nachman's song. So very quickly, and just to end the mashal, and then we'll ask questions, okay? You have the feet, right? What's the brains of the feet? What's the mind of the feet? We just said, Netzach and Hod. But let's say in your body, in your whole body, you have Emunah, right? Let's go up higher. Let's go up higher. Every part of your body has Malchut and Keter. Okay? So 1 second. Try to stay with me. We just learned that the brains, the Chochmah and Bina of the feet is your testicles. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah.
What about what the highest part of your body, your head? Your head must have Keter to Malchut.
Your mouth is malchut.
Your mouth, speech is your Malchut. That's where your Emunah comes from. That's why Rabbi Nachman says speech is Emunah.
It's a macrocosm. And
Where does it come from? Tikkuni Zohar says very, very clearly. Sephardim say this every single day. Chabadniks say this right before Shabbat comes in the Patach Eliyahu, Malchut Peh. The mouth is, Malchut is the mouth. Emunah is the mouth. So now what's the mind of the mouth? What's the mind of Emunah here? Your physical mind. Chochmah and Bina. But if you go lower, you also have feet, you have Emunah, you have a mouth, that's your feet. And you have a mind at your testicles. You have the same thing from here to here as you do from here to here. Look in the anatomy. It's the same exact thing. You have two halves of your brain. You have two sides of your brain, no? You have a Western and Eastern hemisphere. You have that within your Western and Eastern hemisphere. And you have your mouth, your feet. It's the same thing. If your mouth is silent, you don't have Emunah. If your feet can't stand, you don't have Emunah. You're on the floor. Okay? Now so this is the explanation. This is what it's trying to come to. Is it Chochmah or Bina, or is it Netzach or Hod? It's both. The Arizal says it's Chochmah and Bina, but the Zohar says it's Netzach and Hod. So the explanation is it's both. It depends how you're looking at it. You understand that? It's a hard thing. We're gonna have to work with this more. This is a very hard Kabbalistic concept.
The reed is directly in the middle of both of the two. Meaning, like the barrier, the connection between Chochmah and Bina and Netzach and Hod, the thing that connects into it is the middle.
Yeah. So what he's trying to say is like this, and in terms of Kabbalah, okay? If we're gonna say Netzach and Hod, this area is like the two sides of your brain. But there's an area in between the two sides here. Yesod. What is that up here? It's called Da'at.
So these
One second. Consciousness. It's called Da'at. Meaning what? Why did Yosef know so much? How did he know everything? Everything he said from the beginning of his life to the end of his life was true. Did you ever notice that? His brothers were mad at him at what he said when he was a little kid. It was all true. Everything he told to Paro was true. Did he know? Yes. How did he know? Because his da'at was pure. Because his brit was pure. The pure person's brit, the pure is his da'at. This is the reason why Rabbi Nachman brings Emunah in a way that nobody else does. Because he's the master of the Brit, so he has the purest Da'at. And Da'at is what gives you Emunah. So there's a lot of Kabbalah in this lesson. It's not always going to be so Kabbalistic. But this is a very short lesson. The first two lessons we did together are very long. This one is a very short one, but I'm spending a lot of time just in the beginning because I want you to understand. Yeah, because you need to. It's a shorter lesson, but it's so packed in the beginning with so much light. You have to understand. Does anybody have any questions from tonight's class? You should have a lot of questions. We'll go with you first. It became impure, but through good. Can you explain it more? Yes. A person, let's say for instance, he masturbates, right? He wastes seed. Okay, good. So, what's the tikkun?
Get married. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The answer is the mikveh.
Because you spilled with seed.
One second, no. One second. The mikveh. Why? Because we just said that Yesod and Da'at are one and the same, right? The Brit and your consciousness are directly connected, no? What is the mikveh? It's the waters of Da'at. But it's pure Da'at. It's God consciousness. You're jumping into God consciousness when you go into a mikveh. It's Da'at.
Because where this water comes from, you need 40 se'ah, you need an amount, it comes from rainwater.
Yeah, it can only come from...
That water, where it comes from, they're closer to Hashem, the water is closer to Hashem. So when you dip in waters, they have more godly consciousness,
And
get more godly, it's pure water.
And even more, it's pure water.
That's actually no.
It's literally pure water.
But you need to dunk in Hashem first, they also.
No, 1 second. So wait, it's pure water, right? How pure is it? When water comes from the clouds, is there ever anything else in it besides water? No, it's always pure. It might hit something else, might touch something else, but the water that comes from clouds is always pure.
What about like acid rain?
Okay, forget about acid for a second. Stick to the rain.
I know.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Same thing with snow
Yeah.
or hail. No,
Yeah.
it sounds kind of stupid.
No. Okay, so we'll look at acid rain in a second. But I just want to get like a simple thing down, okay? That water that is in a mikveh, it has to be pure water. If it's not pure water from rain, it's not a valid mikveh.
Yeah, but for guys, you go to the pool, it's already...
No, you can. That's first of all, that's bidi avad, and secondly, that pool water has to come from the rain.
Can be chlorpa.
Can't be.
No.
They go to the beach.
Again.
Beginning of it, whatever.
Again, very, very simply. What is the mikveh that has the effect of rectifying the brit? What is the mikveh that has? It's pure rainwater. You could bidi avad, go in your shower, and be yotze mikveh. But that's not going to purify your brit. That's not going to purify it.
Stand like this for 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's not going to purify your brit. Only now, listen to what Rabbi Nachman says. Because I am pure da'at, I am a mikveh. When what you just learned, we all just dunked into a mikveh. Do you understand what's happening? Every single time that you learn Rabbi Nachman's Torah, you're literally going into a mikveh.
Akiva says, אמר מעקיבא, והמקווה מתאר את הטמאים, ככה הקדוש ברוך הוא מתאר את ישראל, שנאמר מקווה ישראל שם. What is the Shem של התורה?
Go to the mikveh. Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
The flies picking up.
Wait, shh. Guys, focus, we're almost done.
That's a good point.
Is it connected to how the babies are in the womb, so like they're in the mikveh?
Yes.
Learning the entire time?
Yes. Awesome chiddush. Beautiful, Avram. I love it.
Does that purify the woman?
Yes.
To expand on that,
Oh.
the woman itself is malchut.
Okay.
The womb is malchut. So when you're in malchut, then you can actually chap all these things.
Yeah. Can I tell you even more? The womb itself is really more like Bina. And what's in Bina? It's the waters of Da'at. Yeah.
By the way, there was
Wait, I want to tell you something that's gonna trip you out. You ready?
As if this whole class didn't do that.
Can you say this?
Okay, 1 second. You ready? Someone says to you, I don't believe in an afterlife. Right? I don't believe in life that's beyond this. Right? Majority of people at this point, because we're connected to science, even though science tells you we don't know anything beyond the physical world, and now you're saying, so then it must be that there's nothing after this, but they're not researching that, so they wouldn't even know. They would tell you they don't know anything about it. Okay, but we learn this and we say this is all that there is. Okay, great. So now that person, like me, for my whole life, would tell you, I don't believe that there's anything after this. There can't be. Doesn't make any sense. It's a fantasy. Okay. So I want to ask you something. I want you all to imagine that you're back in the womb. I'm serious. I want you to close your eyes right now and imagine, do it with me. Just sit down for a second. For 1 second. I know you have to go. So sit down over there. Sit down somewhere. Just for a second. Close your eyes and imagine you're still in the womb. You have to close your eyes for this or you're not going to be able to imagine because you can't see anything in the womb. It's true? Can you see anything in the womb? Imagine if somebody came to you, one, you were being created in the womb during the 9 months. Your eyes should still be closed. Close your eyes. During those 9 months, if somebody came from outside and came in and told you, hey, or just spoke from the outside, hey, you're going to come out soon. This thing that you're in right now is only temporary. You're actually only there for 9 months. And then you're going to live. You're not even alive yet. Would you believe them? Can you even see in the womb? You can't see anything. You can't see anything. And if a person tried to tell you, by the way, you're not alive yet. There's something that comes after this. that person would swear on his life and his mother's life and his father's life that you're crazy and there's no such thing. And then he comes out of the womb.
That's so crazy.
Can I tell you that this whole world, this whole life is 9 months in a womb? We're not even alive yet.
It's also like Mashiach.
So it's like
What is that?
Exactly. It's just like Mashiach. Nobody believes he's going to come, but then one moment he's just going to come. And when he does, it's like, just like you come out of a womb. That's it. Done. You hear?
Let's go! Nine, nine! Nine, 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 nine. Woo!
That's real music. That's the music that's going to bring you Emunah. When you go to your Ibodadut, sing. Sing that. You'll have Emunah. I sing, and when I start my Ibodadut, I sing when I move to the next topic. I sing again after that. I sing again after that. holy song. It unites everything. You want to know how the Jewish people are going to come together? It doesn't make sense. Religious people don't even get along. How are you going to get the whole world to get along? Music. 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 You want to see what the Geul is going to look like? Bezrat Hashem, come with me to Uman this year for Rosh Hashanah. And you will see every type of person in the world in one place in complete ecstasy. And not from drugs. I mean, it doesn't mean there's not people there not on drugs, but no, I'm telling you, there's listen, when you have Kedusha, when you have godliness, the more the godliness, the more you have the opposite. But you'll see what's going to bring redemption in the end song. But that song's got to be fire, because if that song's not fire, nobody's going to be listening to it. Yeah? You have any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What did the snake eating the frog?
You're not going to know until the end of the Torah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're just starting this Torah.
Okay.
So you have to come Thursday night to hear the rest.
And also you said that what happened in Mitzrayim was like rectifying for spilling seed.
Yeah.
So
This is what the Arizal says.
right, all that suffering
Yeah.
is for that. So, but we're in Moshe Ourvino and our own part of the suffering also.
It wasn't even the Jewish people's problem. We were sent to rectify it. It started with the Damarishon. The Jewish people were sent to fix the world. And to do that, we had to be sent to the lowest place. Just like Mashiach has to be sent to the lowest place, the Jewish people also. I mean, the greater something is, the lower it has to fall. Mitzrayim was the worst.
So Mashiach comes, he came from the dirt.
The Mashiach is the Jewish people. Mashiach, the Jewish people is. Yeah. Mitzrayim, every single exile is called Mitzrayim according to the Torah. Every single exile of the Jewish people is called Mitzrayim according to the Torah. Every deep darkness is called Mitzrayim. There always has to be a Jewish people that goes in. There always has to be a Mashiach that goes in and lifts up all the godliness.
So we've never come out of godless.
Not completely. But Bezrat Hashem, Bimarav Yamenu, we should really mamish all leave exile because I'm tired of it. I'm just so tired. I can't see people suffering anymore. It kills me. Any last questions? Any last questions?
Rabbi, you're the best.
I'm nothing. I'm really mamish nothing. Rabbi Nachman, I'm telling you right now, everything that the world needs, he has. I don't have an agenda. I know you hear me always speak about him. It's not because I have an agenda. It's because I can see. I can see clearly. I can see a whole generation of Jewish people. They are going to need not just Torah, they're going to need fire. But the fire has to be the good fire. Yeah, it has to be the good fire. It's the only thing that's going to take everybody out. It's not going to be enough, a nice shiur. It's not going to be enough. We're in the deepest part of exile. Just like we went down to fire, we're going to have to come out through fire. And you should know, Rabbi Nachman says, my fire is going to burn until Mashiach comes. Now the simple understanding is, something's happening. I don't even know until Mashiach comes. Rabbi Nachman's going to be a part. No, my fire specifically.
So it's ha'ishli.
Yes. My fire is going to burn until Mashiach comes, meaning my fire is going to cause the Mashiach to come. You hear?
Through his teachings.
Through his teaching, through his Torah, because his Torah is fire.
Rabbi,
No, I'm serious. His Torah is I'll finish with this. You ready? Listen to this. Benny, you're listening? Listen to this. We came out of exile, Mitzrayim, through Nevuah.
now we don't have new.
We don't have Nevuah anymore. No. We have the root of Nevuah. It's explicit. We have the root of Nevuah. We don't have, we're not going to have that until Mashiach comes. No, I'm saying it's a fact.
So everyone
When the Beit HaMikdash went into exile, we lost basic Nevuah. All the Jewish people will be prophets again. We're all going to have Nevuah again when Mashiach comes. Okay? But we still have the root of Nevuah. If you can connect there, you can actually still experience Nevuah. So that's probably, okay.
all the way to
Show you something in the beginning of
Yeah.
Kalmus.
So one second. So Rav Yitzchak Ginsburg says that while it was the fire of Nevuah that took us out of Mitzrayim, it's going to be the fire of Torah that takes us out of the final exile. And there is no Torah that's fire like Rabbi Nachman's Torah. No fire Torah like the Baal Shem Tov's Torah. That's the Torah fire. As my son says, the good fire. Oh, it's Hashem's fire, it's the good fire. I said, yeah, that fire doesn't hurt you. It feels really, really good. It feels so good. And it takes you all the way out. Okay? Please do me a favor. Tell everyone about these classes. They shouldn't have 6 people, it shouldn't have 8 people. The whole place should be packed. There's no reason this place shouldn't be packed.
You're going to tell people to listen to holy music too.
Good. And it starts with you doing it. Because nobody's going to listen to it if you don't do it. Okay? Everybody have a good night.